207 days. That's how long it's been between Super Bowl 57 and the start of the 2023 NFL season tonight. If you recall, the Kansas City Chiefs defeated the Philadelphia Eagles 38-35 in Super Bowl 57, and Kansas City won their second championship in 4 seasons. To me, that is not a dynasty. The Chiefs would either have to win back-to-back Super Bowls, which hasn't been done since the Patriots did it in the early 2000s, or the Chiefs would have to go out and win the Super Bowl next season. But as of right now, no, the Chiefs are not a dynasty. And even if Patrick Mahomes goes out and wins the Super Bowl this year, that doesn't mean he surpasses Tom Brady as the new GOAT, because Mahomes will have 3 Super Bowls versus Tom Brady, who has 7. That's a difference of 4 Super Bowl championships. Yeah, Brady still has the edge. But anyway, tonight we get the return of NFL football because the Detroit Lions are taking on the Kansas City Chiefs at GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium. Of course, the Chiefs are hosting this game because they won the Super Bowl, so they get to unveil their Super Bowl 57 championship banner in front of their home fans. However, they are going to be without arguably their best defensive player in Chris Jones, and they might be without their second most important offensive player in tight end Travis Kelce. Kelce hyperextended his knee, so we don't know for sure if he's going to play. But we know for sure that Chris Jones is not going to play. From what I've heard, it won't be until week 8 that he possibly makes his return. But if Travis Kelce does not play tonight, I think the Lions are going to go into Arrowhead Stadium and spoil the Super Bowl championship festivities and all that. In fact, I would go as far as say this, that at 5:30 on Thursday, September 7th, 2023, I am saying that the Kansas City Chiefs will start the season 0-2. Yes, that's right. Again, as of 5:30, 17:30 in military time, on Thursday, September 7th, 2023, I am saying the Kansas City Chiefs will begin the season 0-2 because I think they are going to lose tonight against the Detroit Lions, and then I think they are going to lose next week when they head down to Duval to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, there you go. That's my bold statement. The Chiefs will start the season 0-2. Do I think Kansas City will be able to overcome that? Yes. I still think the Chiefs are going to end up winning the AFC West and they'll be in the playoffs. However, I do not think the Chiefs will be the number 1 seed in the AFC this season. I think the AFC playoffs will have to go through Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon, and the Cincinnati Bengals. For the first time in his career, Patrick Mahomes will have to play a playoff game on the road. There will be no Arrowhead Stadium AFC Championship game invitational this season because the AFC Championship will be played in the jungle down in Cincinnati, and the Bengals will get back to the Super Bowl. However, even though I just gave all that praise to the Cincinnati Bengals, saying that they are going to get back to the Super Bowl and that they are going to be the number 1 seed in the AFC, despite all that, they are going to lose on Sunday because they are coming to the dog pound off the shores of Lake Erie, and they are taking on Deshaun Watson, Amari Cooper, Nick Chubb, Myles Garrett, Donovan Peoples-Jones, David Njoku, and the Cleveland Browns. Did you know that in his career, Joe Burrow is 1-4 against the Cleveland Browns? He's never beaten the Browns in Cleveland since being drafted number 1 overall by the Bengals in 2020. He didn't get his first career win against the Browns until last season down in Cincinnati in, I believe it was week 14. Think about that for a second. Joe Burrow is undefeated against the Kansas City Chiefs in the regular season. His lone loss was in the AFC Championship last year, which you can't tell me otherwise. The refs helped the Chiefs win that game and helped the Chiefs get back to the Super Bowl. You can't tell me otherwise. The Bengals should have been in the Super Bowl against the Philadelphia Eagles, but there's nothing we can do about it now. So how crazy is that? Joe Burrow is undefeated against the Chiefs in the regular season, and his lone loss was in the playoffs last year. But on the flip side, he's 1-4 against the Browns. That's just bizarre to me. But that just shows at the same time how good the AFC North is. Which, I'll say it like this. All 4 teams in the AFC North have a realistic opportunity to get to the playoffs. 2 of them, the Bengals and Ravens, even have Super Bowl aspirations. Because, yeah, the Bengals should be one of the top teams in the AFC. And look at what the Ravens did this offseason. They were able to re-sign Lamar Jackson. They brought in Todd Monken to be their new offensive coordinator. They signed Odell Beckham Jr., which, yeah, he's had some injuries, but I think he'll still be a very nice addition to the Ravens offense. They're getting Rashad Bateman back. Mark Andrews is still there. They drafted Zay Flowers out of Boston College. And their running backs, Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins, are hopefully going to stay healthy. And you know the Ravens are most likely going to be solid on defense because that's part of the Ravens' identity, for crying out loud. I mean, think about it. They've had Ed Reed, Hall of Famer. Terrell Suggs, probably a future Hall of Famer. Arguably one of the greatest linebackers of all time in Ray Lewis, Hall of Famer. I could go down the line, but you know the Ravens are going to be there. And, of course, you have the Steelers. Kenny Pickett came on strong at the end of last season. George Pickens is on his way to becoming a superstar in this league. Deontay Johnson, he's been going to be a very nice wide receiver. I love Najee Harris. And look at that defense. TJ Watt, Minka Fitzpatrick. I mean, those are just 2 names. I could probably name off other players on that defense. But when you look at the AFC North, again, all 4 teams have a realistic opportunity at making the playoffs. And the Ravens and Bengals, they could both realistically get to the freaking Super Bowl. That is why it is absolutely crucial that the Cleveland Browns get off to a strong start to begin 2023. Because here's the first 8 games on their schedule. First 8 weeks. Week 1, host the Cincinnati Bengals in round 1 of the Battle of Ohio. Week 2, at the Pittsburgh Steelers on Monday Night Football. Week 3, home against the Tennessee Titans. Week 4, home against the Baltimore Ravens. Week 5, bye week. Week 6, host the San Francisco 49ers. Week 7, at the Indianapolis Colts. Week 8, at the Seattle Seahawks. There are, in the first 8 weeks of the season, 3 divisional games. Cincinnati in week 1, Pittsburgh in week 2, Baltimore week 4. And then you finish up the season series with Baltimore in week 10, and then you finish up the season series with Pittsburgh in week 11. And then we finish the season series with Cincinnati in week 18. But again, 3 divisional games in the first 4 weeks. If the Browns get off to a slow start this season, they're putting themselves right behind the 8 ball early, and I don't know if they can climb out of that hole. Even with Deshaun Watson, which if Deshaun Watson does not play better this season, I think Kevin Stefanski is very much on the hot seat. I'm not saying Kevin Stefanski should be fired. Let me clarify that. I am simply saying that if Deshaun Watson does not come out and play way better than he did last season, Kevin Stefanski is going to be on the hot seat. So that's what I've got. NFL football is less than 3 hours away. I can't wait. I look forward to doing all my video collaborations this season. I'm going to try and do one for every game on the Browns schedule, but we'll see. It might not happen because, stuff happens and we have to make changes. But we'll see how we do. So, until then, I'm Unger to the Max, and I will see you on the next episode of the Sports Room Talk Show. And be on the lookout because there could be some wrestling footage coming this weekend.